A year ago, Hypixel added a new anti-cheat replacing watchdog termed as prediction. Bypasses were made like TP or a fly and much more. Speed made by Rise client devs. Here is the clip. Which is insane after the update. Like it went on like new bypasses made. Then Hypixel devs would patch it until the client's devs had no bypasses left. Then came Slinky Client's timer, which made you freeze in the void. This timer was left unpatched for a long time. Then it was patched 3 or 2 months ago. Now some time ago, lag range was made. It would made you top in front of her enemy's POV. Then came lag auto block, which would made you lag while block hitting. Then Hypixel devs were fed up of this. So they made a patch where you can't use high quantity lag, which would make her hits go ghost. But if start affecting legits, then they reverted it. Then people start using lag range like 400 milliseconds, and it would made legits mad. This went up for a long time, then they added a new check that was same like the lag check before. In the lag check, you can only use low quantity like 80 milliseconds or 100 milliseconds. Added a new check which you can't use, lag range / lag obby, or anything related to lag. I am 100% sure this would affect legits players. And since this would block all lag cheats, then blatant cheating is dead for real. Here is the clip where Timnus tells about the check.
Location of it will just lag or teleport you to where you're supposed to be. Like, it'll act as if you took the knockback and teleport you there, if that makes sense. And that's all because of the prediction anti-cheat, probably the greatest thing that they added to Hypixel. So instead of all these hacks, people have been using substitutes that they've made that are mostly centered around lag. So for example, instead of straight up 4-blocker reach, people will use a hack called lag range, and if you live under a rock, how it works is basically it will purposely make you lag when you're out of your opponent's hit range, so like you're 5 blocks away from them. But it'll make it so you unlag when you're just in range of them, so you'll get a lot of free hits. It's a lot easier to understand what I mean when you see it for yourself, so I'll play a few clips of it on screen from different point of views, from someone getting hacked on and someone hacking on them. Obviously, these are not recorded by me, they're just on YouTube. So this is pretty much what every blatant cheater has been using for the past 1.5 years. And since they're all centered around lag, it's much more difficult for anti-cheats to crack down on it. Since there are a lot of genuinely laggy players and, high ping players who would have their game experience ruined if they tried making an anti-cheat less tolerant of things like this. How do we know? Well, a few months ago they tried this exact same thing, patching lag-based cheats, and it worked. Lag range and like blinking and all that stuff were no longer viable. But in return, high ping players would have their hits ghost like 3 times more. That's not an exact number, but all I know is that it made their experience way worse. So they ultimately decided to revert the change, and since then people have been going on like normal. But just yesterday, I was told that Hypixel made a new check in their anti-cheat, for Blink specifically, which I'm going to assume applies for lag range too, since both do the exact same thing. Like, if you think about it, lag range just constantly blinks for you. Like, it does it automatically, so I believe it's a fair assumption to make. Anyways, like the same anti-cheat I talked about just before, this is going to be a little bit rough for the people with, with unstable connection. I'm not sure about high ping players who have like a stable connection. That's not determined yet. I'll remember to include a note while I edit this video. So what this anti-cheat check does is, if you start lagging, the server is going to predict what your next position is going to be, and just have you go there on the server side, so all the other players will see you going there, but on your screen you'll obviously be lagging. So for example, if you're running right towards a player, like you're just holding W towards them and you start lagging, or maybe you're trying to use some previously mentioned modifications, the anti-cheat is going to assume that you're going to keep moving in the same direction, and when you quote-unquote unlag, it will correct your position. So I have a clip of this in demonstration, since once again I feel like it's a lot easier for people to understand when seeing it for themselves. So I'll play the clip right here, just watch. So if you're confused, the opponent in the video is trying to blink, which usually has a teleport-like effect. But as you can see, the server is just assuming that he's continuing to walk forwards and just forces him to keep doing so. Now, I'm not saying that stuff like this, like these cheats, will be 100% useless, since I'm sure people will find some sort of tech to abuse this to their advantage. I don't know, man. But what I will say is that this is definitely going to be a lot more better than being teleported on every fight.
Anyways, I am done with the video. Here is some uncut cheating. And I don't own clip/song used in this video. All the credit belongs to their owners.